Imagine this. You've walked side by side with a man everyone says is the Messiah. You've seen blind men regain their sight. You've watched storms obey his words. You've eaten with him, laughed with him, called him a friend. But one night, you make a choice. A choice that will change history forever. Why would someone betray the Son of God? This is the story of Judas Iscariot. But before you judge him, ask yourself, what would you have done in his place? Stay with me. This is more than a story. Judas wasn't always the villain we remember. He was chosen by Jesus, just like Peter, James, and John. Think about that. Out of thousands, Judas was one of the 12. A trusted follower. Why would Jesus pick someone who would betray him? See, Judas had potential. He had skills. In fact, he was the group's treasurer. But here's the twist. When trust turns into temptation, even the best intentions can take a dark turn. Why do people fall for temptation, even when they know it's wrong? Tell me in the comments below. Let's talk about it. It didn't happen all at once. Judas didn't wake up one morning and say, I think I'll betray Jesus today. No, it started small. Do you remember that story of the woman with the expensive perfume? She poured it on Jesus' feet, an act of pure love. But Judas? He was upset. He said it was a waste of money. He claimed it could have been given to the poor. But the truth? He wanted the money for himself. Greed. A small seed. But when you feed it, it grows. Is there something small in your heart right now? Something you think is harmless? Be careful. Small things grow. Before we go deeper, hit that like button if you've ever wrestled with temptation. And don't forget to subscribe to More Than a Story, where the lessons of the past shape the choices of today. Now, here's where the story takes a dark twist. The religious leaders wanted Jesus dead. But they needed someone on the inside. Someone close. Judas saw an opportunity. 30 pieces of silver. That was the price of betrayal. Think about that. 30 coins. Would you betray a friend for money? Would you betray God? The truth is, we all have a price. The question is, what's yours? Fast forward to the Garden of Gethsemane. It's night. The air is heavy with tension. Jesus is praying. The disciples are tired. And Judas walks into the garden leading soldiers. But here's the twist, he doesn't point. He doesn't shout. He kisses Jesus. Why a kiss? Because it was a sign of friendship. Imagine that. Betrayal disguised as love. Did Judas think it would end like this? Maybe he thought Jesus would escape like before. Maybe he thought he could control the outcome. But when Jesus was condemned, Judas realized what he had done. He tried to return the silver. He threw it on the temple floor. He cried out, I have betrayed innocent blood. But guilt doesn't set us free. Have you ever done something you regret? Something you can't undo? Let's talk about it in the comments. And remember, this is more than a story, it's a chance to change. Judas couldn't forgive himself. He chose death over redemption. But here's the truth that makes this story more than a tragedy. If he had come back to Jesus, he would have been forgiven. Yes, even Judas. Because grace is bigger than betrayal. So, what's the lesson? It's not just about Judas. It's about you. It's about me. Every day, we face choices. Small ones. Big ones. Choices that define who we are. But here's the good news, no matter how far you've fallen, grace is waiting. Forgiveness is real. What will you choose? Think about that. This is more than a story. Don't just watch, let it change you. Here's the additional section about identifying and dealing with a Judas in the workplace, seamlessly integrated into the story. Let's step out of ancient times for a moment and bring this story into your life today. Have you ever worked with someone who smiles in your face but undermines you behind your back? Someone who seems loyal until personal gain comes into play? That's a Judas. And here's the truth, every workplace has one. Let's break it down. Judas was trusted, he handled the money. He was in a position of responsibility, just like someone who might manage budgets, projects, or people in your workplace. But behind that trust, there were warning signs. What do they look like? Sign 1, obsession with money or self-gain. Judas didn't care about the poor, he cared about profit. He criticized the woman's gift to Jesus not because it was wasteful, but because he wanted a cut. In your workplace, a Judas might be the colleague who's always focused on what they can get, bonuses, credit for work, or promotions, at the expense of the team. Watch out for the ones who measure success by what they take, not what they give. Sign 2, a double face. Judas didn't openly fight Jesus. Instead, he used a kiss, a sign of affection, to hide his betrayal. In your office, this could be the person who agrees with you in meetings but spreads doubt about your ideas behind closed doors. They wear masks. They praise you today and plot against you tomorrow. Trust actions more than words. Pay attention to consistency, not charm. Sign 3, small compromises that grow. Remember, Judas's betrayal didn't start with the silver. It started with greed in his heart. He allowed small compromises to lead him down a dark road. In your workplace, a Judas might bend rules for personal benefit or cut ethical corners. It seems small, until it isn't. Integrity matters. Don't ignore small warning signs of dishonesty. So, how do you deal with a Judas in your workplace? 1. Be wise, not paranoid. Jesus knew Judas would betray him, but he didn't treat him with hate. He stayed focused on his mission. Learn to stay professional and calm. 2. Set boundaries. Don't share sensitive information with people you don't trust. 3. Stay true to your values. Don't let someone else's bad behavior drag you down. Have you ever worked with a Judas? How did you handle it? Share your story in the comments. We learn better when we learn together. And remember, this is more than a story. It's about choices, integrity, and the power of redemption. Don't just watch, let it change you.